third installment of Mustang Media. I'm your host, Captain Cavarini.
And I'm Jesse Myers.
On February 24th and 25th, 3 physics students from Southwestern went to Dallastown High School for the Physics Olympics. We caught up with them to see what it was all about.
On February 24th and 25th, a group of students from Southwestern went to Dallastown High School to compete in the Physics Olympics. I talked to them to find out what it was like.
Oh, I mean, we just kind of went there, and it was good to kind of put our physics knowledge to the test. I mean, we didn't really have too much knowledge. Only one of us actually took multiple years of physics. But I mean, it was just kind of fun to go there and challenge yourself, and we all got free shirts at the end, which was, worth it.
My favorite part of the Physics Olympics was that we got to go and just hang out with some of my friends.
I mean, the most challenging part would have to be the best part about it, which would be using the physics concepts. It's a lot different scenario when you're put on the spot and trying to do something instead of being able to think through it. You actually have to do it.
The most challenging part of our competition was the fact that I was not particularly familiar with all of the formulas that we used because I had taken honors physics for 3 weeks at that point, so I wasn't really familiar with much of it.
My favorite part would actually have to be using the physics concepts that we learned in the classroom, in real life scenarios.
I asked them about the competitions they competed in.
One of our events was a bicycle race, but what we had to do, we had a 2-foot by 40-foot area that we had to stay in, and we had to maximize the amount of time. So we had to kind of balance and not fall off of the bike.
We did the Fermi questions, which are basically just kind of physics questions where you get a simple kind of thing like how far is it to Lancaster, but you do it in a weird kind of way, like how far is it to Lancaster in centimeters. And then we had a lot of different specific ones. They had ones about the moon, and we did pretty well in that event. We got 4th out of the 12 or 13 teams there, so that was the only.
Okay, what I did was an event called Jump. And what you have to do for this event is stand on top of a chair and jump down onto the floor where there was a force plate, which would record the amount of force that you would put on the ground to slow down. To properly do this event, you have to minimize the amount of force you put on the ground, but then maximize the amount of time that you do with the force.
This has been Megan Dunnick reporting for Mustang Media.
Wir Schülerinnen sehen es in Betracht, einen Fremdsprache in Highschool zu nehmen. Shannon Holt erklärt uns die Vorteile, eine Fremdsprache oder Fremdkultur zu erlernen.
So, das ist der Neckarfluss. Und dann im Schloss.
Here at Southwestern High School, a student doesn't necessarily have to take a language class in order to graduate. However, there are some benefits to taking one of these courses.
There's a lot of benefits taking all foreign languages, not just Spanish. First of all, you do better on your SATs. You learn how to speak English better. But Spanish in particular, you really need, because I think we do a good job at helping people just become more compassionate human beings. There's a lot of people out there who have different ideas about who different groups are and what they represent and what their aims are, and they're really misinformed. And I like when kids come to our class with those misapprehensions and we can set them straight and teach them that, people are people and we all have the same needs, the same goals, even if our cultures differ. And so that's why I think it's really important to learn how to be more tolerant and more understanding of other cultures.
There's many reasons why I think kids should take a language class. First of all, it's very important to have at least 2 years to get into college for foreign language, and 2 consecutive years, like German 1 and 2, Spanish 1 and 2, French 1 and 2, or Latin 1 and 2. But moreover, it's also really cool to be able to communicate with people that are not from your background, and it's great to travel when you speak a foreign language. Most people in Europe especially speak English, but if you speak their language, they're much more willing to help you, and you can go to places where normally you couldn't travel, in little villages and things like that.
The medical field, all the terminology, the organs, the illnesses, all of the names for those kind of things come from Latin and Greek. So if you're going to be a doctor or a nurse, or even just becoming a health assistant, you're going to have to take some Latin so you know what things are called and how you can help others out in the field.
Well, if I heard of someone not wanting to take a language, I would want to know why. Why don't you want to communicate with lots of people? It's always fun to start over at the beginning, to do ABC 1, 2, 3. And it's such an interesting feeling to make connections between the language that you know now and all of the languages that we teach here at Southwest.
It's really fun to be able to communicate in the second language. I think it makes you much more aware of the world around you and what's going on, and not just here in the United States.
This has been Shannon Holt reporting for Mustang Media.
Painting is a good way to relieve nerves and stress. This past weekend, National Art Honor Society had their spring paint day. Here's my take on the story. This past Saturday, every art room at Southwestern High School was filled with children and adults all eager to create their very own painting. Once in the fall and one time in the spring each year, the National Art Honor Society, a club at Southwestern High School, holds their annual fall and spring paint days. Here, the members of Art Society guide children and adults to making their very own painting. I got to talk with the teacher who runs Art Society to see why they have this event.
We do Spring Paint Day because we thought it would be an opportunity to share our talents and showcase what the students do here in the classroom, as well as to share that with the community. And it kind of gives them an idea as to what education looks like, and perhaps they'd be interested in that in the future.
Those who signed up for Spring Paint Day are given the option of 3 paintings to choose from that they will be instructed on how to create.
And watering down your paint helps a lot in this step. Yep, you can use the same brush. You might want to rinse it off first. I did mine. I dipped it in the water real quick. We have paper towels so you can dry your brush off.
As everyone was finishing up their paintings, I got a chance to hear what some of them thought of Spring Paint Day.
I really enjoyed Spring Paint Day. It was fun. I think it was really good for the community or whoever to get out, be able to experience art. I just think it was a really good opportunity for some people because some people don't get to do that.
Yeah, I like it because I can choose what I want to paint, and it's something that I don't normally do.
Spring Paint Day was tons of fun. We really appreciate the National Art Honor Society having this for us.
Hope to see you all next Paint Day. This has been Catherine Caparini reporting from Mustang Media. Until next time.
Spring sports are here, and the weather outside is pretty nasty. I got to talk to 2 coaches to see what they thought about the weather. Spring sports are fun as long as they're outside. Every season usually begins in the gym. I got to talk to the tennis and softball coaches to see how the first week of practice was going.
It's been going as well as it can. All of us want to be outside, but the guys' spirits are up. Everyone's working hard, getting really sweating and getting good workout. Well, we're trying to swing the racket as much as we can in all the various strokes, forehands, backhands, volleys, some serves, hitting on the wall. So we're trying to swing the racket in all the ways that we can, and we're using the low impact balls that aren't as bouncy so that they're more conducive to the gym floor. And it's helping a little bit.
The snow is definitely affecting us somewhat. I mean, we can't get on our field at all, and then once the snow melts, then we still have to wait for it to dry. At the same time, we can do a lot in here. We can hit, we can field, we can throw. It's not the same as being outside, but we've learned how to make it work as well.
Don't worry, spring sports. The warm weather will be here soon. For Mustang Media, I'm Jesse Myers.
Know what Dresses for Dreams is? Here's Autumn with the story.
Last weekend at Southwestern High School, they held their annual Dresses for Dreams event. I asked Pammy Fulgeniti about this event and how it got started.
Dresses for Dreams is in memory of Gabby Sicard. She was a Southwestern alumni that passed away tragically in a car accident a few years ago. A few girls started this a few years back, and they decided to pass down the tradition to us. We gather dresses from the community, and usually they're gently worn formal dresses. This is donation-based, meaning people can donate what the dress is worth. And basically people can come take a look at the dresses. There's snacks and refreshments available, and all of it goes towards a scholarship in Gabby's name.
I then asked Pammy how girls can become eligible for this scholarship.
The scholarship goes to a Southwestern female athlete. Last year, Skylar Bushinsky won the award.
I caught up with some girls there and asked how they liked Dresses for Dreams.
For Dreams was an amazing event with tons of beautiful dresses. The refreshments available were delicious, and I loved how it was donation based. Everyone who came seemed to find something they enjoyed, and I will definitely come back next year.
Here are some more college choices from our seniors.
Melissa Woodward, George Mason. Taylor May, York College.
Lauren Schmidt, Kutztown University.
Andrew Fieser, Army.
Haley Hood, Westchester University.
That's all from Mustang Media. I'm Catherine Cavarini.
And I'm Jesse Myers. You stay classy, Southwestern.